So coming into Shavasana, let your feet fall apart, inner thighs release, round the pelvic floor a little bit. Let your arms come a little bit away from the sides. Shoulders externally rotate your upper arms so your hands turn up and your chest opens. And relax your fingers and thumbs. Don't extend or curl, but just allow them to do what they want to do. They'll probably curl up a bit. As needed. And assess your situation at present moment with no judgment, but curiosity. How do the feet fall apart? How do the legs turn out? How do the hips fall or touch the floor? And the arch of the lower back, are they even side to side? Rib cage, shoulder blades. How do the shoulder blades feel? Maybe one's higher than the other, or more out to the side than the other. Maybe one shoulder is curled in towards the chest more than the other, or raised up towards the ear more than the other. And the neck, curve of the neck, and the base of the skull. If you can let me have it. And then let your breath flow freely in your body. And observe your breath. And observe your body. And soften what's engaging. Work towards letting go. This pose is a practice of letting go. So allow that process to happen slowly. And then this is a practice, Shavasana, so that we don't hold our nervous system always in fight, flight, freeze, and then our heart rate is always the same, and we don't have a good heart rate variability and so on and so forth. So we want to be able to, relax when the time is appropriate, when we can let go of holding on. So that is a practice, the practice of letting go. And we're talking about physically here, talking about disengaging the muscles that are engaged. First of all, we have sensory motor amnesia. We can't feel them. So that's also a process starting at the level of the skin, which is more sensitive, and then going under the skin to the superficial fascia, the connective tissue under the skin. And then all of the muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, organs, vessels, everything is covered in connective tissue. The brain talks to the body, and the connective tissue talks to the brain. So see if you can sense and feel things at a deeper level under that connective tissue, the muscles. Each muscle is wrapped in connective tissue, and each muscle cell and bundles of tin and so on. So you sort of go deeper and deeper and soften as you're able. And then we'll do a little bit of somatics before we do our floor poses. So go ahead and bend your knees up one by one, bring your feet flat and hip width distance apart, comfortable distance from your body and from each other. So it shouldn't be an effort to hold your feet and legs up, knees up, right? It should be more and more effortless. And then find your lower back muscles. Yeah, and if your feet are sliding, you might want to take the blanket off or just pull it up under your knees so it's not under your feet. So observe your pelvis. Okay, so the bony parts of the pelvis are the tailbone and the sitting bones at the bottom, right? The sacrum and the lower back, pubic bone and the iliacus, the hip bones, and the lower abdomen. So don't pull your belly in towards your spine. Just be in your neutral shape. right? Just let your pelvis be in its tilt. It should be a little bit of a forward tilt in your pelvis, not backward. Forward. Forward means your lower back is not flat on the mat. There is a curve in your lower back, a natural inward curve. So sense and feel the top of your hips, and then just above that are the muscles of your lower back, and start to engage those muscles and roll your hips forward into a little bit more of a forward tilt. So you're like a rolling pin. You roll your hips towards your sitting bones and tailbone. Press those down, a little arch in your back, and then as you exhale, so it's the opposite movement. Inhale this way, engage your back muscles. As you exhale, softly release your back muscles and come back to neutral. And feel those muscles engaging and releasing. Okay, so as you inhale, you engage your back muscles and you roll your hips forward like a rolling pin. Feel the engagement of the back muscles and smoothly and slowly release the back muscle. Don't engage the front, just release the muscles. Try not to engage the front. And then you're going to do that one more time. Inhale, engage the lower back muscles and roll the hips forward. You're going to widen your feet a little. And then as you exhale, gentle release back. Okay, so this is the biggest hinge of your body, and we tend to sit in chairs, most of us, too much, right? So this will help us to find the movement of this major joint in the body. So now take an inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, pull the lower belly in towards the spine and roll the hips back now, pressing the lower back down. Try not to overdo the action. Try to underdo, right? And as you exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine and allow the hips to roll back. And in order to do that, you may have to release some muscles in your back and so on. And then as you inhale, you release, come back to neutral. And then exhale. And then take a breath in between, right? So you can sense and feel. Inhale, belly out to prepare. Exhale, belly in. Sink the belly down towards the back body. You can do, it really isn't that much effort. It's more relief of the muscles that are stopping the movement. And then inhale and release, come back to neutral. And then we'll do that one more time, exhaling first, and then inhale to prepare, belly out. And then exhale, sink the belly down, gently roll the hips back. Allow the sitting bones to travel up towards the back of the thighs. And then inhale to release. Exhale to come to neutral. Good. Okay, let's try a couple of back and forth. Inhale, you engage your back muscles and roll your hips forward. Exhale, you smoothly release your back muscles and come to neutral. Pause in neutral. Inhale, push into the belly. And then as you exhale, sink the waist down. Exhale, the belly, don't over engage. Relax a little and allow the hips to roll back. And then inhale, release. Take a breath, exhaling, and then inhale, you roll the hips forward, engaging the back muscles, releasing the front. And as you exhale, slowly release the back muscles. Don't engage the front. So we're still taking an extra breath in between, right? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, sink the lower belly down and let the hips roll back. That's a pelvic tuck, flattening the lower back. Sitting bones and tailbone curl up without pushing into the feet. Just use the abdomen. Inhale, slowly release the engagement of the abdomen. Come to neutral and exhale. Inhale, arch the back. One more time. Observe how, as you do that, the back of the neck lengthens and the chin pulls a little into the chest. Exhale, smoothly release the engagement of the back. Don't engage the front, just release the back muscles. Chin comes back to neutral, or you can adjust anything if you need to. Take an inhale to prepare. And once again, exhale, sink the lower belly towards the spine. Roll the hips back. Feel the sitting bones and tailbone curl up. And as you do that, the chin pushes up towards the ceiling. And then inhale and slowly release. Come back to neutral. Exhale in neutral. Good. Okay. We're going to do one more thing here before we relax. Okay. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Good. And then it's same thing, but it's arch and curl. Okay. So now you're going to inhale, roll your hips forward, engaging your back muscles, and press your elbows down. So you're arching your back. And then as you exhale, you slowly release that engagement and pull your elbows in towards your ears and sink your waist down, roll your hips back and curl your head and shoulders up so your knees come toward your elbows come towards your knees. So it's a crunch. And then inhale and release that engagement. And as you release, you can take extra breaths here. Then you're going to go right into the arch, right? So you can take several breaths. You don't have to do it on one breath, but you're going to engage your back muscles, roll your pelvis forward, and press your elbows down. It's an arch, Kim, the other way. Other thing, arch. Yes, arch first. Engage your back muscles. Yes. Exhale, slowly release that engagement. And then bring your elbows in first, Kim. Don't lift your head up. Bring your elbows all the way in. Sink your waist. You can take several breaths. Roll your hips back and bring your head up towards your knees. Yes. Yes. Look towards your belly button. Good. Inhale, slowly release the engagement of your front body, taking your elbows down. So it's not about holding the pose with strength, right? It's about feeling the engagement and release. Okay. And then as you inhale one more time, roll your hips forward. Press your elbows down, engage your back. As you exhale, just release. Release your back muscles. Let yourself release and then take your elbows in, and you can take an extra breath. And then exhale and crunch. Push your belly down. And inhale, slowly release. Don't hold. Release the abdomen, release the elbows. And come back to neutral. Arms out to the side, extend the legs, and come to Shavasana. Anatomical neutral. Now assess. Some differences may be there. Yes? So that's just a little preparation for the 5 floor poses that we do in the practice that we're currently doing, which is called Yoga Asana Sangraha, collection of asanas that I have been studying. So now bring your legs all the way together and roll your inner thighs down to the mat. Extend the front of your feet so your toes point a little bit, like a halfway point. And the reason for that is so that you can get length on the front of your legs. So lengthen and use your legs to pull your hips away from your waist. Now bring your arms along your sides, palms down. Firm your arms and legs. So that means the muscles deepest to the bones engage. The skin and the superficial fascia soften. Now, exhale, pull your belly in towards your spine so your hips roll back a little towards a pelvic tuck. Firm elbows and knees. Inhale, raise your arms up over your head until the backs of your hands touch the ground or the support overhead. Keep your arms shoulder width or wider. Go a little wider, Stephen. There you go. And squeeze the elbows in and reach and stretch. So that still the palms face up. Yeah, there you go. Squeeze the elbows and the triceps in. Bring the thumbs into the fingers and the fingers in towards each other. So that, no, straight like that. Yeah, good. And roll the tricep and the armpit in and the forearm the other way. And then use the arms and rib cage, right, to create more space in the abdomen, and use the hips and legs to create more space. So you're hollowing the abdomen, right? You won't feel a huge amount. It might be a millimeter. You'll feel the skin lengthening. And Tadagi Mudra is the name of this pose. Mudra is a shape that we breathe into. Tadagi means empty lake, and this refers to the hollowing of the abdomen. So observe your abdomen as you exhale. Continue to hollow the abdomen. Spread now you have your arms overhead and the lower back ribs tend to engage here. So as you exhale, see if you can soften the lower back ribs down towards the mat, even as you're here. And spread the waist, not by hardening. Grip the elbows, grip the triceps, grip the knees. Breathe. Good. And next exhale, pull the belly in more towards the spine and sink the lower front ribs. When you do that, the shoulders will roll up a little. Then inhale, raise the arms up, and exhale, lower the arms down. So all of this is not aerobic activity, okay? It is not pounding the weights, okay? It is mindful movement. Why? Because most of our brain is there for the purpose of moving our body, which is a magnificent machine, which is not just physical. It's bioelectromagnetic. That's the prana, the energy. It's so many things. And there are other subtler levels as well, including the mind. So be mindful and not to waste your effort gripping your muscles to your bones, which contains your trauma, of course. So now bend your knees one by one, bring your feet flat, hip width. So we're going to do Dvipadipedam, two-footed stool. Don't think bridge, although it's similar. Okay, but it's not about achieving a huge lift. Okay, it is about finding the muscles that you need to engage and those that you need to release. Okay, and bringing awareness to your hip area, that major hinge in the body, and bringing stability to your lower back and lower abdomen. Okay, turn your palms to face in. Fingers, bring your arms close to your hips. Yeah, and the pinky side of the hand down. Good. Now roll your shoulders under one by one. So you scoot your shoulder blades together over your spine. Press the outer edge of your upper arm down. That's your deltoid, tops of the shoulders, and observe that lift in your armpit chest. So you should feel a nice low curve in your whole spine, right? Now bring your feet close into your buttocks and about hip width apart, but not so close that you can touch your heels. That would be too close, okay? You want to end up with your knees over your heels when you come up. You can widen your feet just a little bit, Caitlin, a little wider even. Yeah, that's more hip width. Okay. Now, as you exhale, pull your belly in towards your spine. That always means your lower belly towards the spine. And as you do that, allow your legs to come in a little so that your knees are over your heels. And then pressing into your inner feet, inhale, raise your hips up a comfortable amount, just a comfortable amount. Okay, be there and breathe. Observe the backs of your thighs, your hamstrings working, and your buttocks. You take your buttocks towards the hamstrings and you move your hamstrings towards your buttocks. And press into your feet, maybe lift up just a little bit more towards your shoulders. And as you do that, let the back of the neck lengthen, front of the throat soften. Do not look up, look down. Yes, or in. Okay, now keep the lift of the hips, and we're going to come down vertebra by vertebra, top to bottom. So you sink your chest down, broadening your shoulder blades, and lay your spine down from top to bottom, one vertebra at a time. And push your hips more towards your heels to elongate your lower back, and then release your hips back to their neutral pelvic tilt, forward tilt. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Roll your shoulders under again. Okay, feel that curve in your whole spine. Press into your inner feet. Exhale, pull your belly towards your spine, always the lower belly. Inhale, press into your inner feet and outer edge of your upper arm and lift your hips again. Maybe you go a little higher this time. Feel the hamstrings. Can move your feet further away from you. They're too close. Yes, there you go. That's better. Feel the backs of your thighs. Those are your hamstrings, engaging towards your buttocks. Feel your buttocks moving towards the backs of the thighs. Push into your heels, maybe lift a little higher if that's comfortable for you. Widen your feet a little, Stephen. And as you do that, let your legs come in here. Yeah, so that's more over your knees. Press the outer edge of the upper arms down and maybe lift a little higher towards your shoulders. Let the back of your neck lengthen and soften and the front of your throat soften. Now this time, coming down, don't come down just yet. Soften your pelvic floor, that's in between your thighs, and widen there. And slowly lower your tailbone and sitting bones down. So this, you're doing a different kind of lowering down. And do not engage your lower back. Just slowly drop your anchor. Just drop your anchor without hardening. See what you can soften. Good. Take a breath. We'll do it one more time. A little too close, Susan. Yeah. Roll the shoulders under. Press the outer edge of the upper arm down. Press the inner feet down. Pull the belly to spine and inhale, slowly raise up. And so you take the outer hips to the outer knees. Yeah. And then around inner knees to inner feet. Find the hamstrings and engage the hamstrings and take them towards the backs of the hips. Find the buttocks and move it towards the backs of the knees. And press the outer edge of the upper arm down, press into the feet, maybe lift a little higher. Soften the back of the neck, the front of the throat. Good. Now you come down, stay here for a moment. When you're ready to come down, you choose which method. Laying your spine down vertebra by vertebra, or releasing your inner groin and lowering your tailbone down. But do pay attention if you're laying down vertebra by vertebra, at the end, when you release your pelvis forward, observe the release in your pelvic floor and inner thighs so that you don't continue to grip there. Good. Okay, we'll do one more thing before we rest. Turn your palms down now. and roll your shoulders towards each other in the front of your chest. So you collapse your chest and broaden your shoulder blades. Roll your hips back to a pelvic tuck. Press your lower back down firmly. Exhale, and then curl your head and shoulders up and look at your belly button, reaching your hands towards your feet. It's called Nabi Darshanam, gazing at your navel. So it's an abdominal crunch. Yeah, be here and breathe. The breath is a little constricted, so you breathe into your upper back and chest. Mm-hmm. Good. And you to let your shoulders come more like that. Yes. See how that helps you? Yeah, because if you're holding here, that stops the movement. So when one side engages, the other side has to release. Good. Inhale, slowly lower the head and shoulders down, not the head first. Elongate. Yes. Good. And then take the arms out to the side, palms up, and extend the legs one by one. Come to Shavasana and rest. So I want you to see how this is so similar in so many ways to that somatic practice we did, but it's a little bit more engaged, right? It's more holding and breathing. But it's the same idea. The idea is not to, I've got to get this amazing stretch and use every muscle in my entire body to do it and whatever, right? It's more about finding the right amount of effort and ease, okay? Take a breath, exhale, and relax here. And do that again. Take a breath, exhale, and relax here. So the next one is called Pavana Muktasana. It's a variation of wind relieving pose. Roll your thighs in, bring your legs together. So you have that slight internal rotation like in Tadasana or Dandasana. Extend the front of your feet. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have to do that actually. Go ahead and bring your arms along your sides, palms down, and then bend your knees one by one, feet flat. And bring your feet together. So now roll your hips back, pelvic tuck, sink your waist down. Take your right leg up off the ground and interlace your fingers on the shin below the knee. If your knee bothers you, you can hold behind the knee. So you're bend your knee and interlace your fingers and hold there. Flex your right foot. Now, let your right leg fall forward into your arms till your arms straighten. And then push it and feel that push-pull. Pushing the shin forward, pull the arms pull back. The head kind of falls back a little. Keep the hips rolled back. Exhale all the air out. Now observe how your left foot gets light when you press your lower back down and roll the hips back. Lift it up 3 inches and then extend that left leg out and lower it down onto the mat slowly. So I want you to feel the connection of, I'm not using my back muscles to do that. I have to release my back and use my abdomen. Yes. Now take a breath. And then as you exhale, relax your right leg and foot and relax your arms and relax and breathe, soften everything and allow, instead of pulling with your arm strength or anything, allow your leg to sort of fall into your abdomen. And when you do that, you have to soften the crease of the groin, the hip flexors. You don't need to engage them because you're holding on. And take the top of your hip away from the lower back. So you roll your hips back like flattened, right? And the sitting bone travels along the back of the thigh towards the back of the knee. And you compress the leg into your abdomen. And then you draw the knee up towards the chest. Extend the front of the left leg a little bit of a point. Flex the right foot. Exhale all the air out. Roll the shoulders up. Head falls back. And then lift the head and shoulders up. Chin, nose, or forehead towards the inner knee. Be here and breathe. Press the left leg down. Good. And then inhale, release your head and shoulders down. Keep holding on to your shin and exhale and push the shin forward into your arms again until your arms straighten and roll your hips back into a pelvic tuck. Roll your hips back. Press your lower back down. Keep pushing, pulling, and roll the hips back. Feel how the left leg now gets light. You can lift it up because you've rolled your hips back with your abdomen. Now bend your left knee and place it flat. Place the right foot flat. Change leg. Left leg up. So this is to learn how to raise your legs up with your abdomen and not your back. Okay, so left leg up, interlace the fingers, flex the left foot, let it fall forward until the arms straighten, and then push it forward as the arms pull back, let the head fall back, roll the hips back, press the lower back down strongly, feel the right foot get light, raise it up a few inches, Kim, before you extend. Raise it, yes, now extend it. Point the foot as you lower down and lay it on the mat. Yes. Good. Keeping the hips rolled back. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, relax your left leg and relax your arms, relax your abdomen, and let the leg fall rather than pulling. Let the abdomen hollow. As you draw the leg up, deflate the leg and extend the front of the right leg so that you get more of the back of the right leg into the mat. Good. Exhale all the air out. Deflate the abdomen and roll the shoulders up. Deflate the chest. Exhale and bring the head up, chin, nose, forehead towards the knee. And the leg goes towards the chest at the same time. Yes. And you press the back of the right leg down. Yes. Breathe here. Flexing the foot that's up and the shoulders round up, right? You have to release the upper back muscles, right? As you engage the front. Yes. Chin, nose, or forehead towards the inner knee. Good. Keeping the other leg straight. Inhale, lower the head and shoulders down. Good. Exhale, let that left leg fall forward until the arms straighten. Push, pull. Roll the hips back strongly until the right leg, so you keep holding the left leg, right? And you flex the foot and you push the leg forward so the shoulders start to come up. Yeah, and the hips roll back, not the head, just the shoulders, right? It's like flattened, right? And then your leg will float up. Now extend the leg and straighten. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's the other way. I already did it. Yeah, bend your right knee and bring your right foot flat. Sorry, I got confused. That's it. And then release the leg down. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and relax in Shavasana. That's a difficult one to teach, but it's not that difficult to do. So I do highly recommend that you practice it, especially if you're not getting it. Do a little arch and release, flatten and release, arch and flatten, and observe the connection. Right? Because you want to take what you learn in somatics into a bigger movement. This is a bigger movement, stronger. Right? Okay. So then the next one is the last floor pose before we roll up to sit, ideally, is Supta Vajrasana. And we come to it from Tadagi Mudra. So it's different than what you think, and it's not Supta, Spada Konasana. So roll the legs in, bring the legs together, bring the arms along the sides, palms down. This was the first pose we did. Exhale, pull the belly in towards the spine, keep the elbows and knees firm. Inhale, raise your arms up over your head, backs of the hands touch the ground, and then lift the ribs up away from the hips, take the hips away from the ribs, hollow the waist, breathe into the waist. Separate your arms just a little more, Stephen. Yeah, and bring your fingers all the way together and thumbs into the side of your hand. Look at me. It's a seal, not this. This. Yes, there you go. Good. Yes. Now, exhale, sink your belly towards your spine, sink your front ribs towards your back ribs as much as you can. You'll feel your shoulders start to pull up, like, yes. And then bend your knees one by one, not touching the ground, but up into the chest. Cross the feet at the ankles. So you want to do that. You want to make sure you're doing that with your abdomen. So if your back is arching, you want to roll the back and do one at a time because you want to don't do that with your back muscles. Okay. Flex your feet, hook your feet at the ankles, pull the knees apart as wide as you can. So this is an isometric contraction in the pelvic floor. You can bring your arms on the ground. Yeah. That's it. Isometric contraction means it's engaging and widening at the same time. Okay. And sink your waist, not to push the waist out because that connects to the back rolling up. Yes. Hollow the waist and bring the legs in towards the body. Widen here as much as you can. Widen. That's Uddiyana Bandha, and hollow and spread as you widen. Yes. Widen here and draw the abdomen back and up under the ribs. Straight elbows. Straight elbows. Yes. Good. Change the cross of your leg. And repeat. Your feet are down towards your buttocks here, Anissa. Bend your knees. Yeah, and hook your feet and pull your knees apart. You feel the widening in your pelvic floor? Yes. Good. And then you go that way too. Okay, so you're using your abdominal muscles, right? And your leg. Yes. Yes. And your elbows are firm. Squeeze your arms. Yes. Good. Now, exhale, sink your ribs down as much as you can and bring your arms up and wrap your arms around your legs. Relax your feet, but keep your ankles crossed and hug your knees in towards the sides of your body. So relax your feet, keep the ankles crossed, and deflate. Yeah, so you can go a little less wide. Yeah, and deflate. Yep, relax your feet. Cross here and relax. Yes, go a little closer in. Yeah, okay, change the cross of your legs and repeat. Relax your feet. You don't have to hook, right? Just relax a little and see if you can relax your legs and your lower back and tuck your chin a little towards your chest. Okay, if I give you a push, is your knee bothering you still? Or okay. What was your hip? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, very good. Okay, now we're going to go into roll up to sit. So wait, let's do it together. So you raise your legs up a little, sink your waist, curl your head up and look between your legs towards me. Cross your feet. And then you just exhale and tuck your feet. Yeah, easy enough. Okay. So, but the thing to remember about that is when you want to roll, right, you have to let go of everything in the back chain and engage the front. Okay. So then you go to standing. So you can use a little momentum, right? Or you can just do it from here, but no arms, ideally. Good job, Kim. Oh, the youngin. That might have been your slipping on your thingy. Yeah. You probably don't need that unless your feet sweat, and this is better for you. Okay. So one can go a little forward, one goes a little back, and we'll do our 5 directions of the spine, just so your arms don't hit each other. You might want to come a little this way, Steve. Yeah. Okay. And then pull your arms down and fingers and thumbs down and together. Make that seal. And bring your feet and legs all the way together. Samastitihi. Yeah. So find your outer calves and suck those in. Yeah, and your outer thighs and suck those in, and your outer hips and suck those in. And as you do that, root down from your outer hips to your outer feet. Now, your inner legs, they suck into the bones away from each other as you suck the outer hips in, okay? And you lift the inner ankles up to the inner knees to the inner groin. Now, instead of pushing the inner groin forward, roll the tops of your inner thighs and groins back, Caitlin, back, more at your thighs, not your knees. Soften your knees a little. Yeah, so look here. Back. Yes, that's your inner groin here. Back. Yes, good. Because that's too much pushing forward. Yeah. Now roll your upper arm bones a little back and pull down from your inner elbow to your thumb side of your hand and outer elbow to the pinky side of the hand. And as you pull the arms down, let the center of the body lift up. And then you find evenness in all of this stuff. So don't overdo it. So it's about finding balance, okay? And ease. Just push back a little here. Yeah. Yeah, and a little forward here because you've got the green light back here. Yeah, push the thighs. Yes, don't pinch the buttock. Okay, good. So when you do a pelvic tuck, you try to do it from your pelvic floor rather than squeezing your buttocks together. Find your tailbone at the bottom of your spine and pull it forward from like your inner groin area, and then lift up from the inner legs all the way up through Mula Bandha to the top of the head. Okay. Now from your elbows and inhale, raise your right arm forward and up. Now, as you take your arm up, your armpit should go in towards your face. If it goes away from your face, the top edge of the shoulder blade is pinching. You want to broaden the top edge of the, yes, bring the armpit in towards the face and the tricep. Good. And your palm and forearm turn the opposite way. So your hand faces in. This is the same in down dog and handstand and everything else. And reach up. See if you can get your arm right up alongside your ear. Good. And your other arm reaches down. Exhale, giving more of a pelvic tuck. Push your thighs back, Stephen. A lot. Yes. Good. And then inhale, get length on the right side, ribs. And exhale, slide down just a little bit. 5 directions of the spine. These are also opening the lung channels. So you're going to breathe into your side ribs here. Right side ribs. Try to keep your ear close to your arm. Yes. And focus on the breath and getting more opening in the right side ribs. Good. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale, take the arm out to the side, turning the palm in. Firm legs and knees, firm waist and thighs. Inhale, take your left arm forward and up. Armpit towards the face, tricep towards the face, shoulder blade broad. When you raise your arm up, look here for a second. Your collarbone and your shoulder blade, those are your wings. Okay, so those both rise up, including the shoulder blade. Let the shoulder blade rise up any amount. Yes. You can just soften the very inner edge of the shoulder blade a little. But don't pull it down. That's not softening. Lift up more. Lift. Yes. That's it. Pull the right arm down. Exhale, little pelvic tuck. Inhale, get more length on the left side ribs. Exhale, tilt a little to the right. Keep the arm and ear together. Keep the arm and ear together. Lift the chest. Breathe into the left side ribs. See if you can get more space there. Anissa, bring your thumb in towards your fingers. Yeah, good. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, take your arm out to the side and turn the palm down. So the reason we don't do this with the thumb, because it creates a lot of tension all the way up into here, which we all have. So let's not do that. All that, right? Okay. So the next, that's called Ardha Kati Chakrasana, and this is Kati Chakrasana, firm knees, little tailbone forward, lift of the pelvic floor, which comes from the inner feet, from the arches of the feet, all the way up. So Tom Myers discovered the lines of fascia. He's the fascia guy. And the core of the body is from the inner ankles through the inner knees, through the inner thighs, through the front of the body, front of the spine, to the front of the throat. That's the core. It's not your six-pack abs. It's like an apple core. Okay. Roll the shoulders back a little. And then inhale, take your arms up. So your palms are down. Yeah. Now look here. Draw your shoulder blades down. Yes. And lift your elbows up. Firm elbows and shoulder blades. Now find the center of your chest and broaden from there. And Stephen, the center of your upper back and broaden from there. Yeah. Draw the shoulders down. And so now your chest is not broad. So you want your broadness in your chest and your upper back equally. Shoulder blades down. Shoulders down. Yes. There you go. Good. Now exhale, bend your right elbow, bring it under your left collarbone, little towards the armpit, and find the collarbone. You can have your thumb in that dip and your fingers on your like pec. Yeah. Now what you're not feeling the pec, you're softening your hand quite a bit and see if you can feel the breath here. Now you're going to inhale, turn to your left and look back at your left hand. As you do that, don't turn too much. Pull your left hip a little forward so you don't twist your hips so much, but you twist, more in your rib. And turn your head and look back at that hand and breathe into your left chest and your right hand. Good. Good. Turn your eyes. Yeah. And breathe into your chest. Shoulder down. Yeah. Good. And then inhale and open your right arm out to the side to come out. So look here, Stephen, this is happening, right? So you've got to keep this, which is your rib and your hip, together a little bit. And it's about, so we lean back a little, right? You lean back. So you want to keep the arch out of your back and soften. You can do that with about 20% of your effort, okay? Other arm. You're going to bend your left elbow and you want to bring the right shoulder blade down, right? And then as you turn, your hips turn with you. So you just turn your hip back and this is what happens, right? So you want to shorten the front of your ribs. Yeah. And then look back at your right hand, breathe into your right chest. Look at your right hand. Yes. Good. And then inhale, open your left arm out to the side, coming back to the center as you do so. So it's not one and then the other, it's together. And then exhale, lower your arms. Okay. Third one is Ardha Chakrasana. So the heels of your hands come to the tops of your hips, fingers down, thumbs can wrap around the front. Feet and legs together. Firm your knees, firm your thighs quite a lot. Take a strong pelvic tuck. Then when you push your hips forward, don't sink your lower back. So don't go too much. And when you sink your hips forward, it's not from the front of your hips at the top, right? It's from your tailbone and the backs of your thighs pushing forward. And then lift or roll your shoulder blades together over the spine. And then you lift the center of the body, lift the sides of the body. Maybe you lift the head. So you're aiming for length on the front body, not crunching the back body. So lift the chest up, eyes open, take your forehead to the ceiling, Stephen. Up, 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 up. Not so much back, but up. Yes. Don't let the back of the neck shorten. Yes. Good. If you can, Susan, bring your hands lower. Lower. There you go. Move your tailbone more forward. Lift your chest higher. Yes. Yes. So when you're lengthening your lower back and you're taking the arch more in the upper back. Yes. And then push your thighs back and inhale. Lift your chest to neutral and exhale. Lower your arms. Yeah. That's hard for you to find. This happens. So it's this, right? And then this, not this. This has to lift. Okay. All right. So then Urdhva Hastasana. Interlace your fingers. Turn your palms out from your elbows and spread your fingers and draw your belly in towards your spine. Look a little bit down towards the floor and inhale, raise your arms up over your head. Don't pull them back behind your head, okay? Rather squeeze your elbows and triceps in and then push your thighs back, Stephen, and lean forward in your upper body. Yes, more. Yes, there's Tadasana. Maybe a little too much. Squeeze your elbows in, squeeze your triceps in, and lift your ribs up off your hips like we did lying down. Yes. Now look towards the floor, eyes open. Shift your weight towards your toes, firm pelvic tuck, and lift your heels up just about an inch. Try to squeeze your inner feet together. Be here and breathe. Squeeze your triceps and elbows, lift your ribs, inner feet together. Tailbone forward. Now, coming out, you sink your lower front ribs towards your lower back ribs. So you tilt a little forward with your arms and head. Undo your fingers and slowly lower your heels and your arms at the same time. Good. And then the last one of these is the Ardha Uttanasana. So you take your arms back, lift your chest and upper arms, roll your shoulders back, take your shoulder blades together over your spine, and extend your fingers and thumbs in. Yeah, extend your arms back, push your thighs back. Yeah, there you go. Good. Now inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, maintain the lift of the chest and hollow the waist. Don't harden, okay? As you inhale, again, lift the chest. And as you exhale, push your buttocks back. Stick your butt out. Lift your sitting bones up and keep your head up. Look forward. Eyes look forward. Gaze is important, so not down, but forward. Look to this orange wall. Look to the orange wall. Yeah, that's it. You don't have to go super low. Just go, stay there if you can. Just go as low as you can. Yeah, that's good. And if you can go lower, so you're parallel, a little lower, just stay there. Good. Now shift your weight forward towards your toes. So there's less weight on your heels. That's it. Good. This is called Ardha Uttanasana. So you're engaging your upper back and you're safely stretching your hamstrings. Pull your waist in towards your spine and inhale, come up, turning your palms to face in and exhale. Very good. Draw your chin back a little and you say, good. And then now descend your shoulder blades to your buttocks to your heels. Descend into gravity. Very good. And eyes soft. Imagine that you can see from your temples, but your eyes are level and open. So open your eyes and broaden your gaze into the back of the head, from the buttocks, from the back of the heart, from the heels, everywhere. Look from your skin, not just your eyeballs. Good. Now we're going to do the sun salutations. So about 2 feet back from the front of your mat. And these are modified sun salutations. So we learn how to lighten the body, okay, with a little hopping, but you can always step. Okay, and they're more easy, ideally, right? They're easier, okay? So feet and legs all the way together as you're able. And you're in Samastitihi, even standing. So it's more of a balance when the feet and legs are together, right? Inner thighs back, so push your hips back. Yes, that's it. And lift your shoulders and roll them back a little. Take your arms behind you a little bit. Yes. And then push your thighs back and lean your upper body forward. Yes. And feel that your ear is over your shoulder, is over your hip, is over your knee, is over your ankle. And then descend into gravity. Soften the effort, maintain the alignment, breathe, and widen the gaze. So there's 3 things that are important when you're doing your practice. Asana is the posture. Breath, right, which includes bandhas sometimes. And what's the third one? Drishti, the gaze, right? Yeah. So where you're looking is important. That's where your prana goes. Okay. So now inhale, take your arms forward and up in Urdhva Hastasana. Stay here and breathe for a moment. So I know many people say draw the shoulder blades. Incorrect. That's going to hurt your arms. Raise up. Yes. Now feel the ribs lifting up off the waist. Yes. And then you just soften a little the inner edge. That doesn't mean pulling down. Raise that one up. Yeah. Now find the inner edge and just broaden and soften a little of the inner edge of the, yeah, that's it. It's just very, that's better. Okay. Now exhale. It's a swan dive into Ardha Uttanasana. Buttocks back, chest, chin forward, turning the palms up. Arms are alongside the buttocks. Look forward. Eyeballs up. Inhale, you look down towards your feet and you're going to bend your knees, lifting your heels up. You bring your hands flat on the ground. Yeah. And bring your hands a good foot in front of your feet, a good foot or 2. Hands more forward, even more forward. Go forward, more forward. Yes, there you go. So now you can lean the weight into your hands lift up a little bit in either step or lightly hop into a downward facing dog. Roll the triceps in towards each other and the elbows. Spread the palms and fingers. From your shoulder blades, push down into the palms of your hands, and from there, push forward into the full length of your fingers. Widen your pelvic floor at the top of the inner thighs and pull that back. Lift your kneecaps, inner, outer, front, back, and then from the outer hips, pull back. And use your legs to pull the hips away from the ribs. Not to sink in the shoulders. So for you, it's always better to stay about here. Okay, don't think that you want to get your chest to the floor at all. Okay, and then take your lower front ribs towards your pubic. Yeah, and your buttocks up. Yeah, good. And then start to lower your heels. Walk your feet a little forward towards your hands, Stephen. That's a little too wide front to back for this practice. Yeah, that's good. And see if you can descend your heels all the way down. Yep, good. And keep your thumbs from overextending. And keep your ears for you always inside your arms. Yes. And lift your rib cage up to your shoulder blades. Yes. And take your spine in, not your head. Yes. This part. Okay. Now, coming forward, you bend your elbows and knees, lift your heels, bring your chest more over your hands, look between your hands, bending your elbows around your spine, belly in, lightly hop or step into that squat. Heels up. Yep. Squat. Yeah. That's it. Good. Come to your fingertips. Pull your waist in. Look a little forward. Take your arms back, shoulder blades together. Extend your fingers back. Palms up. Palms up. Yeah. So don't do this with your wrist, guys. Yes, it's straight. So Stephen, you're doing this with your, yeah, straight. Stay there and breathe. That's a locking. Then your prana gets stuck there. Now take your chin up, chest up. Exhale, unfold your legs, looking forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Yes, that's it. Shift your weight forward, Kim, towards your feet. Toes, I mean. Yes, good. And then inhale, buttocks down, arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. For now, just look straight ahead. Yes. And shrink wrap your legs. Squeeze your legs in, but inner thighs apart. Buttocks down. You look up. Lift the ribs. Lift the arms. Go ahead, lift the arms, Caitlin. And in towards the back. Yeah, good. And then exhale and lower your arms. Good. Okay. We'll do it again. So you want to have a couple of feet in front of you. Go back a little, Stephen. And Susan, go back a little. Yeah. Okay. Feet together. Inhale, arms forward and up. Now you can stay here, or you can reach your arms up, but don't push your hips forward. Just slide your head back and then lift your chest. You can arch your upper back a little back and bring your palms together if your arms are straight. And then exhale. So Stephen, not this, right? It's just head back. Yeah, that's thighs back. More. There. It's that. It's like an arrow, except the head is back. Good. Exhale, you swan dive forward into Ardha Uttanasana. Good. Head up more, Stephen, chest more forward. There you go. Shoulder blades firm on the back. Good. Now, inhale, you bend your knees and bring your palms flat. Lifting your heels. Bring your hands more forward, Stephen. Yeah, that's it. So then you lean into your hands. You can bend your elbows and then lightly hop or step. It's not a long dog front to back, right? It's more steady. So your arms and legs are, it's like you have 4 legs, okay? 4-legged dog. Yeah, widen your feet a little, Caitlin. Yeah, turn your hands a teeny bit out. Teeny bit more. Yeah, so the wrist creases point straight ahead. That's it. Not to overextend the thumbs. Yeah, good. Lift the buttocks up and take the legs back. Yeah, walk your feet a little forward, Caitlin. Yeah, and let your heels descend even as you raise your hips up. So the front legs lift, the back legs descend. Yes, yes, good. Press the thighs back. Yes, oh, good, Anissa, beautiful. Like a teepee. Except you could have your arms wider. You're too narrow. Yes, there you go. Turn your hands out a bit. Yes, good. Now coming forward, lift your heels, bend your elbows and knees, round your spine up, look between your hands and lightly hop or step into that low squat. Yeah, and if you just choose to lightly hop, it just comes from your feet, ankles, really. It doesn't require much strength at all. Okay, now you come up onto your fingertips, firm your waist back, look a little bit forward, extend your arms back, roll your shoulder blades together over your spine, chest, chin forward, exhale, unfold to Ardha Uttanasana. Keep your arms alongside your buttocks. Yeah. And chest up higher, chin forward. Yes, stay there. Yes, that much. Good. And then inhale, you turn your palms as you come up, buttocks down. You can either look straight ahead or take your head back. And then exhale and lower your arms. Good. Okay. Ready for the next one? Okay. So feet and legs together if you're able. Stephen, move back a little. And Susan, move back a little. Okay. Now palms face back. This time, keep your gaze a little down. From your waist in, buttocks down. Inhale. As you take your arms forward, you lift your heels up off the mat. Now keep your arms up. Keep your heels up. And as you exhale, you lower your arms down and you sit on your heels. It's called low utkatasana or yogi pose, flying yogi pose. Now you bring your shoulders back, knees forward a little. So it's more shoulders back, knees forward. Yeah, more. Caitlin, more. Heels up higher. Yeah. So your shoulders more over your hips. Yes, for this one. Good, beautiful. Now as you exhale, you're going to bring your hands flat. And this time you lightly hop or step into high plank. Stay in high plank for a breath. Now, as you exhale to come down, you're going to shift your weight forward, squeeze your elbows in, and slowly lower down. You can use your knees if need be. Good. Now, tuck your chin down, bring your head down, bring your hands more back towards your armpits, and just be here and breathe for a moment. Forehead on the ground, pose of surrender. Yeah. Now curl your toes under and firm your knees and thighs up and press your tailbone and the front of your groins down and lift your head and chest up a little. From your elbows in, from your waist in, and exhale, push up into downward facing dog and be here and breathe. Yeah, Caitlin, bring your feet more forward and Stephen. So don't go so wide front to back. And Susan, if you can descend your heels, do so. Yeah, go ahead and descend your heels. Yeah. Work on that. Widen your hands a little, Susan. Yeah, and squeeze your elbows in towards each other and triceps in towards each other and lift the elbows up. Don't sink. Yes, good. That's a nice line. Yes, and lift the front legs up as you descend the back leg down. So the kneecaps lift, the head of the shin bones lift, but the heels descend until they're touching the ground. Yes, good. Now you shift the weight forward, bend your elbows, knees round your spine, lightly hop or step into that low squat. Then you come to the fingertips and you come to low utkatasana, knees forward, shoulders back. Sit on the heels. Yeah, you have to lift the heels. Yeah, there you go. Now coming to the same standing, you drop the heels back a little, gaze forward, keep the heels off the ground, and then exhale, lower the heels and arms at the same time. Good. Fun. I like your hairdo, Anissa. Looking good. Like, okay, we'll do that again. Feet together, firm arms, knees, buttocks down, waist in, eyes broad and soft. Pull the chin a little down and back. Yeah. And bring the arms behind you, push the buttocks back and lean a little forward in your, yeah. So then find that line, right? Of ear over shoulder, over hip, over knee, over ankle. Yes, getting better. Okay. Then look down a little bit. And as you take your arms forward and up, you lift your heels up, palms face forward. And as you exhale, you bend your knees and you sit on your heels. Draw your knees forward, shoulders back, so your shoulders are over your hips. Exhale, you bring your hands flat, lightly hopper step. Straight arm chaturanga. Take a breath here, firming your muscles to bones, firming your waist. Shift your weight a little forward, bend your elbows back, and lower yourself down. Tuck your chin and be here and breathe. Bring your hands more back a little bit towards your armpits. Curl your toes under. From your knees and thighs up, take your tailbone down and the front of your thighs, lift your head and shoulders up. From your elbows in, from your waist in. Exhale, push up, down dog. Adjust your feet a little more forward. See if you can get your heels on the ground. Yes, Susan. Sacrifice your legs then. Now stay there. Squeeze your elbows in and up. Yeah, lift your ribs up. Yes. Lift your knees up, not your heels. Yes. stand on your legs. Yes. Yes. Good. Don't pull your head through. Yeah. Squeeze your elbows in. Yes. Triceps in. Yes. Let your legs be tall. Yes. Heels down. Yes. Yes, Susan. Work on that. Good. Now, shift your weight forward. Bend your elbows, knees around your spine. Lightly hop or step to the low squat. Coming up to your fingertips. And then arms up, knees forward, shoulders back. Flying yogi or low utkatasana. Look a little down. And then you raise your arms up. Keep your heels up. And then exhale, lower your heels and arms. Very good. Okay, that's probably enough because it's already 12. So now we'll do the standing poses. So Margie will switch with me. I'm gonna go over here. You guys will turn to face this way. No props. So the idea in this practice is to build slowly strength and balance, okay? Flexibility is there, but this is strength and balance, okay? So we're not using props. Okay, now you might want to move your mat so that you can, each one can see, okay? But the first one I want to do is not in the routine, but since it's standing pose this week, it's in. It is, yeah, in the Iyengar method, which I still hold dear to my heart. So they weave this, exactly, which is the meaning of tantra, by the way, is weaving. So, yeah, it's like the warp or the woof of the weaving, yeah. So it's a what, but I like the way my friend Meenakshi calls it, mixy mixy. Yeah. So stand in samastitihi. Outer calves in. Squeeze them in. Yes. Good. Inner groins back. Yes, Stephen. And then roll your upper arm bones back a little. Shoulder blades a little together and pull the arms back a little behind your body. Behind your body. Yes. And extend from the elbow to, yes. Now they're straight and extended, right? Can you feel the difference? Yeah. And the thumbs and fingers together. Create a seal. Yeah. Good. Now, fingertips together, elbows up, bend your joints. So your joints will bend, but there's elasticity, but also strength. So if you shouldn't, don't, you'll jump or step. Okay. You can step if you shouldn't jump. Yep. Wrist over ankles. So not too wide, a little less wide too. There you go. Good. That's it. You could probably go a little wider, Susan. You have long legs. Yeah, good. Okay, a little wider maybe, Caitlin. That's good. Okay, feet parallel, outer edges. Check your feet. Yep. Firm your waist. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Oh, I forgot the extra. So never mind, we won't do it. Lift and roll the shoulders back. Bring the shoulder blades together. It's like Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, push the buttocks back. Chest chin forward, halfway down. Roll the shoulder blades together, Stephen. Yes, that's engaging your upper back. Can you feel that? So you're getting length in your spine. Now you can either bring your right hand in between your legs or hold, if you can, the outside of your left leg. And you're working down towards the ankle, but start high. You want to keep your torso parallel to the ground and in between your hips and thighs. You have to pull your right hip out to the side and back a little. And extend the head towards the middle of the room. And then, or towards me, I guess. And then roll your top shoulder up and back. And then maybe you take your top arm up and breathe. Twisted Trikonasana. Yeah, good. Stephen, slide your right hand down towards your shin, towards the ankle. Good. Take your head back. Yes, that's it. Look up and breathe. Yeah, and Caitlin, take your hand down. Yes, as you're there, but then lift your torso up, away from there. Yes, like that. That's it. Good. Margie, you can take your hand down more because you're pulling too much to the right. Yes, there you go. That's better. Good. Now exhale. Take your top hand to your hip as you untwist, bottom hand to hip, firm waist and legs. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Do the other side. Lift your shoulders, squeeze, firm your waist, firm your leg. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders back, Stephen. Shoulders, yes, there you go. Good. Exhale, buttocks back, chest, chin forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together over the spine. Look forward. Yes, good. Now you can tuck the chin. You bring your left hand to your right leg. Pull your left hip out to the side and back. Extend your torso forward so you're more on the balls of the feet. Roll the top shoulder up and back. Maybe you take the top arm up, take the head back a little. So you're in line with your hips. Not too much, Margie. You do too much. Bring your left arm more down. Yes, there. Good. And then breathe. Stephen, take your left hip more towards the rope wall. Yes. And head back. Yes. And good. Breathe there. It needs to come to me more. Yes, bring your hand more down. Yes, more down. Yes, good. Now exhale, bring the top hand to hip, untwisting, bottom hand to hip, firm waist and legs. Inhale, come up. Toe heel a little, step or jump. Samasthiti. Arms down. Yeah, feet together. Suck the outer hips and legs in, inner legs to the bones. Lift up the inner legs as you root down the outer leg. Lift the front as you descend back. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Step or jump, same distance, wrists over ankles. Good. Arms extend when legs extend. Yeah. Shoulders down. Yeah. Thighs back. Tailbone a little forward. Yes. And then find like less effort and more ease there. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Bend and turn your right leg out. Left foot in a little, heel to heel. It's Utthita Trikonasana. So now in order to externally rotate that front leg, this hip has to roll in a little. So try to lift your hip up off your thigh, right? But make sure the crease of the groin, the knee, the shin, the ankle, the toe, they all point that way. Good. And then turn to face me and your upper body. Good. Turn your back foot in just a little more, Caitlin. Yeah, so that hip can roll in. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, turn more, Susan, so your left hip rolls down. There you go. But not your ribs. You don't have to turn your ribs. Yes, that's it. You go to the side. Now push your sitting bones towards the rope wall, your torso towards the orange wall. Just go as low as is comfortable. Drop your hand down wherever it goes. Now curl your right buttock under and press it forward. As you do that, you lean back. So your back of your head and your sacrum are in the same line. Now roll your left hip up towards the ceiling as you push your right buttock forward. Roll your ribs and chest towards the ceiling and your shoulder back. Then you take the top arm up or not. You can take the head back a little, turn the gaze and look up or not. Breathe. Extend the head away from the buttocks. Extend the hips away from the head. Arms away from each other. Legs away from each other. Exhale. Don't take your hand to your hip. Take your other hand to your hip. Inhale, come up. Good. So you learn to use your torso and your legs instead of just the arms. Change. Left leg out, right leg in, a little heel to heel. Okay. So that right hip has to roll in just a little. You don't have to overdo it. But the reason is so you can externally rotate this left leg. Now, don't go into the pose yet. Lift up and turn the ribs opposite. Yes. Take a breath. Now, as you exhale, you just go to the side, but you have to let this right hip roll in, Stephen. Yes. So you can do the forward bend, right? So then you bring the hand down. Now you curl the left buttock under and take the head back. So they're in line. Don't turn the head up yet. Right. And now find your right hip and roll the right hip open as you curl the left sitting bone under, then the waist, the ribs, the chest, the shoulder. Then you can take the top arm up. If you take the head back a little towards the buttocks, tuck the chin a little, turn and look up. Breathe. Go a little wider. This one. Yeah. A little wider. There you go. That's better. So hold your shin for this one, Stephen. Yeah. Now let your top hip roll down a little more, Stephen. Your right hip, yes, and go. Let your left hand slide down more, and push your buttocks towards the orange wall. Your hips. Okay. Yes. Good. Top hand to hip, firm waist and legs. Bottom hand to hip. Inhale, come up. Bend and turn. Toe heel. Step or jump. Samasthiti. Arms down. Okay. So there used to be this idea where your hips had to be square like this, and then but then this can't rotate. So you can't do a forward, this has to rotate so you can do a forward bend. Once you're down, then you can bring this buttock under and you can roll this hip up and torso up, but it's still not going to be completely up because that's anatomically impossible. You'll break your hips. Don't do it. Okay. Now your sitting bones move this way as your torso moves this way, right? Your buttocks moves that way as your head and torso move that way. Okay. And legs too, and arms. Okay. And then you find that it's like the pushing the leg and the arms pull. It's push pull. It's pull pull. It's like, in opposing forces. Our body is a system of ropes and pulleys, a tensegrity. So we're using those opposing forces in balance with effort and ease. Okay. What needs to let go? Where? What needs to engage? Where? Utthita Trikonasana. Step or jump. Now it's about a foot wider. So your fingertips are over your outer feet. Good. Now, if you can, you keep your arms up. If you get tired, lower your arms. Shoulder blades down, elbows up, triceps firm. Shoulder blades down, Stephen. Yeah. Good. Bend and turn your right leg out all the way. Turn your left foot in a little, heel to heel. Don't turn your torso. Yeah, but turn your leg. Yes. Now, as you bend the leg, keep the knee to the pinky toe side of the foot. Now, turn your head and look to your right. Take a breath. As you exhale, get long on the right side as you can. Now, you're going to bring your right arm down on the inside of your leg. Yes. Bend your knee a little more, Caitlin. Good. That's enough. Take the top arm straight up. Now, if that's too much for you, you can rest the forearm on the thigh, but it's to build strength. Caitlin, take your top arm more towards your ear. There you go. Good. Breathe. Head back, right butt forward. Lean back into your leg. Yes. Good. Now coming up, inhale, come up with your arms, straighten your leg and turn. Left leg out, right foot in a little heel to heel. Bend your left leg parallel to the ground. Turn your back foot in. Yeah. Go a little wider maybe, Caitlin. Yeah. Good. Turn your head to the left. Take a breath as you lengthen, reach out to the rope wall, lengthen the bottom ribs, drop that arm down, top arm up. If you need to rest the forearm on the thigh, you can do that. Good. Bend a little more if you can, Stephen. Yes. And then push your left buttock forward, lean back into your left leg, turn your ribs and waist and look up as you're able. Breathe. Good. And then inhale, you come up, straighten the leg, turn the feet, toe heel, step or jump, Samasthiti. On that side, Margie, don't go so low. Take your leg narrower. Don't bend your knees so much, I think. Because no, but your hip wasn't moving. I'd like to see your hip moving. That's the problem. Yeah. Okay. So now Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward bend. Step or jump. Wrists over ankles, maybe a little wider. So now bring your hands to your hips. So you're going to keep your legs this distance. Okay. Try not to move the distance of your legs. So that we're going to do the forward bend, come up without moving the legs. Doesn't matter if the head touches. Okay. Is that clear? You want to keep the strength of your legs. So push your thighs back. Yes. Hands to your waist. Now just adjust your pelvis a little, right? So something has to release what? Your lower back as you bring your tailbone forward. Roll your shoulders back. Shoulder blades together over your spine. Squeeze your elbows in, Stephen. Lift your shoulders up higher. So look here, up and then back. Yes. Then shoulder blades down. Yes, because they get stuck here. You have to go up and back. Okay. Now inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Buttocks back. Lift the sitting bones. Chest, chin forward. If you're somebody like me and Margie, you have to take the buttocks down a little more. Okay. Fingertips on the ground. If you need to bend your knees to do so, bend your knees. When you bring your fingertips on the ground, have your hands right under your shoulders, shoulder width apart. Yeah, a little more back, Stephen. Yeah. Now take your chest, chin forward, head up. Yes. Look forward. Come on, look at me. Look at me. I see you. I see you. Now pull the torso forward so your weight comes more on your toes. Pull the thighs back, but keep the weight more on the balls of the feet, but the legs are firm. Now exhale and relax your waist back towards your spine. Bend your elbows and keep your hands and elbows shoulder width apart. Release your head down. Squeeze the elbows in a little so they stay over the wrists. And lift the shoulder blades up even as the neck and head release down. Breathe, palms flat, Stephen. Walk your hands back, hands back. Yeah, it's like tripod headstand but don't bring, yeah, just like that. Squeeze your elbows in, right over your wrists. Yeah, that's it. Good, breathe. Maybe walk your hands back a little more, Caitlin. And also widen your hands, Kim. And take your hands more back and scrub your hands out. Turn your hands out a little. Not wider, just turning. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Breathe. Push down into your hands, forward into your fingers. Yeah. Go a little more back. Yeah. Yes. That's it. Good. Push here, not there. Good. Okay. Hands more back, Anissa. Walk your hands. Yes. See how the elbows are now over the wrists? Yeah. Push down into the wrists, forward into the fingers. Squeeze the elbows in, broaden the shoulders. Good. And then as you lift the shoulder blades up, you take the head, the center of the body down, sides of the body up, sides of the body up, this up. Yeah. And this down. Yes. Hands more back. Yes. Learn to balance. Squeeze your elbows in, push down and forward. Yes. Good. That's working towards headstand. Yes. Now, inhale, raise your torso up, thighs back, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders and lift up your torso any amount. Head up, look at me. Yes. Now, firm your waist, hands to your hips. Tailbone comes down and forward as you lift the chest up, just to neutral. Good. Step or jump the legs together. Namaste. Very good. Coming down. 12, 12. That seems auspicious. So we won't do any more standing poses. We will come to sitting in Dandasana. So try to do it without support because we're going to go to Purvottanasana and then we'll do the seated forward bend. So if you need support, you can take it then. Okay. So sit down. Yeah, we're not going to do a vinyasa since we have new people in this man. Okay. So meaning is 12, 12 also. It's 12, 13. Roll the front thighs in, trying to be mindful. Don't pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Why? Because that sharpens the sitting bone and pulls too much on the hamstring. And it's not about that so much as it about you want to internally rotate the front of the thigh, wipe by the crease of the groin, and roll the whole back of the thigh in the buttocks. And it's high. It's high. Hold higher. No, hold. Yes. Now, yeah. Turn the thigh. Flesh. Yes. Now, when you turn the thigh flesh and it's really high, the reason is to broaden your pelvic floor and roll to the forward edge of your sitting bones. Can you feel that? Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to roll back because your groins are going to be rolling up and your tailbone's going to be coming forward. Bring your legs together. Bring your hands beside your hips or a little back or forward. Straight elbows. Push down and roll your shoulders back a little. And lift your chest higher than your shoulders like you would in up dog. Shoulders back more, Stephen, towards each other. Yes, there you go. Good. And firm your legs and look towards your knees or toes. Good. Breathe here. Bring your hands more forward because your shoulders are higher than your chest. Yeah, so bring your hands more forward. Now, push down into your hands. Shoulders should be lower than your chest, not higher. Lower. So keep your buttocks down. Roll your shoulders back. And don't lift the sides of your body. Lift the center of your body. Like you, yes. Shoulders down. Yes. Yeah, pull your ribs back a little. Don't push your ribs so much. Anissa, I'm talking to. Yeah, good. There you go. Okay. So it's like when you were upside down and you were lifting the shoulders up and taking the head down, right? Yes, like that. And look at your feet. Okay, good. Look at your feet. So the gaze is important. This is towards the forward bend. So the gaze is inward. Yes, good. Okay, so but the first thing we do is Purvottanasana in this practice, which is a back bend. But what we want to do is not really so much a back bend as it is we're strengthening the hamstrings before we stretch. So walk your hands back 6 to 12 inches. Spread your fingers wide. We'll start it with knees bent. We'll do it one time knees bent. So we're not going to point the feet, keeping the toes up and the feet flexed. So flex your feet more and more, Stephen, more and more. So you're going to keep your heels down, toes up. Okay, so you may need to adjust your hands a little more back. Squeeze your elbows in a little, lift your chest and straighten your elbows. Pull your waist in a little, dig your heels in, squeeze your legs together, keep your feet up, squeeze your legs together, lift your buttocks up. Take your buttocks, don't take your head back, Stephen. Look, buttocks up. Yes, buttocks up. Continue with buttocks up. Yes, feel the hamstrings working? Yes, good. Look at your buttocks. Yes, or your whatever. The front, your belly button. Yes, good. Okay, and come down. Yeah, so Anissa, your feet were too far forward. Yeah, okay. That's interesting, right? So you're finding the muscles in the back of your body here and engaging them. Because otherwise we just throw the head back, I'm in the pose, right? So let's do that one more time with the legs straight. Okay, walk your hands a little back. And if that doesn't work for you, you can keep them bent. And then you bend the elbows, lean back a little, draw the waist in and up, straighten the elbows, lift the chest, squeeze the legs in, keep the feet flexed, firm the outer legs in, firm the buttocks up, tailbone towards the backs of the knees, hamstrings towards the sitting bones. Dig the heels down, lift the hips up. Then, yes, go ahead, take the head back if it feels, lift your hips higher, Anissa, higher, higher. There you go, good. Yeah, Margie, buttocks up more. Buttock, okay. Don't take the head back then. Okay, good. And then lower down, yeah. So don't take the head back until your buttocks are up to a good height. Yeah, yeah, because the head is heavy, it falls back and then, right? Yeah, makes you fall, good. Now roll the thighs in, broaden the backs of the thighs. Sit in Dandasana, draw the waist back, tuck the chin down, take hold of your big toes. If you can't reach the toes, you can bend the knees or you can use a belt. You can also sit up on a blanket if need be, okay? Good. Now from the kneecaps, inner knees down, outer knees down, above and below the knees down. Open the backs of the knees. Press the roots of the thighs down, lift the torso up until your arms are straight. Up, up, up. Draw the shoulders down. Draw the waist back, tuck the chin, take a breath. And then as you exhale, you just widen your elbows, drawing your shoulder blades and shoulders away from your ears. Follow the waist back. Tuck the chin in towards the notch at the clavicles without dropping the head down. And breathe into the back of your body. Good, Kim. Walk your hands more forward and soft hands. Yes, stop there and breathe. Good. Good. Now firm your thighs, press down, inhale, lift up till your arms are straight. Push your toes a little forward into your hands and lift up higher, shoulders down, chest up. Good. Tuck your chin a little and round your waist back. Now hold the outsides of your feet. Push the inner feet a little forward, pulling the outer feet back. Roll the tops of the feet a little towards each other. So a little point here, a little point. Point your feet more. Yes. Now your knees can come down. Yes. Firm your knees. Take an inhale, lift up your thigh, off your thighs, tucking your chin though, tucking your chin. Look in towards your belly button. Yes. And then exhale, just widen the waist back so you can fall over forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, keep them broad. And then exhale and breathe into your back body. 60% of your lung capacity is in the back of your body. Oh, Kim, good. Walk your hands a little more forward. Good. Lift your elbows a little, Stephen. Relax your hands. Bring your fingers all the way onto your feet. Yes, and thumbs in the front. Thumbs in the front. Thumbs around the top of the foot. Yes, like that. Push your inner feet forward. Point your feet a little. Point your feet a little. Point. That's flex. Point. Yes, that's too much. That's not a little. Yes, just so your knees can open. Open the backs of the knees. Yes. Pull the elbows a little out and back towards your buttocks. And out and back towards your buttocks. Shoulder from your shoulders. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, good. And then inhale, come up. Tuck your chin. Pull the waist back. Exhale, release. Okay, now make sure you have enough room behind you. So you're probably going to scoot forward. So your head is on the mat. And then when you lie down, your arm's going to be overhead. Firm your legs. Extend your arms. Now, you start to tuck your tailbone under and elongate your spine. So you're going towards flatten, shoulders are round, right? And then at some point, you take your arms with you. Chin is in towards your chest. And then you open all the way up into Tadagi Mudra. Extend the front of the feet, sink the waist, tailbone a little bit up, hollow the abdomen and lengthen the abdomen. So, and your arms are shoulder width. Fingers are spread and extended. Yeah, good. Be here and breathe. Beautiful. Okay. Now, if you need to bring your arms down at any time along your sides, you can do so. Exhale, sink your waist down until your whole back touches the ground. Tailbone curls up, try to get the back ribs down. Pointing the left foot, press the left leg down. Flexing the right foot, raise the right leg up. Stay there and breathe. Good. Yeah. Straighten the knee. Push out through the heel and press the root of the right thigh away from you as you pull the toe back so you open the knee. Yes. Push, open the back of the knee. You cannot hyperextend here. Yes. Good. Sink the waist and breathe. Point and flex the foot a couple of times. Circle the ankle a couple of times in each direction. Good. Now, inhaling, flex the foot and lift the heel up towards the ceiling and then bring the foot closer to the head side. Exhale, sink your ribs, bring your arms forward and hold your leg wherever you can and bring the leg a little closer to you with your two hands. Keep your head down. Now, keep your leg where it is, firm your legs and waist, and inhale, take your arms back overhead, and then exhale, lower your right leg down, pointing the right foot. Curl the tailbone under, flex the left foot, sink the ribs and waist down. Shoulder blades will draw down the back a little. Shoulders will crunch in. And then inhale, raise your left leg up. Keep the inseam of the right leg down. And press the root of the left thigh away from you as you lift the heel up and take the leg closer to you, just so it's perpendicular. No more than perpendicular. So press the left leg away from you more, Stephen. It's too much. And press the outer left hip away from you, any amount. Yes, like that. This foot points. Yeah. So this has to come to here, even as it goes up. Yes. Otherwise, you're hiking your hip up. Can you see that? Yes. And that's back pain waiting to happen. And that's because that's already in that pattern. Yeah, exactly. Good. So press this away. And as you do that, this would glide up a little, up towards the hip socket. Yes. And that will help you even out. So both sitting bones point down. Not too much. Yes. Good. Point and flex, circle the ankle. Yes. Keep it steady. Good. And then exhaling, you lift the heel up towards the ceiling and pull it back towards your head, sink your ribs and waist, and bring your hands to your leg. And hold it a few breaths. And open the back of that leg. Yeah. Good. Try to straighten the knee as you're able. Yes. Hold lower on your thigh if it's tight. Bring your hands down away from your knee and press the root of the thigh away from you as you pull the heel back so you can really work on the leveling of your hips. Here's the root of the thigh, pushing that away. Yeah. Now, firm the kneecap and grip and lift that up and open the back of the knee. Yes, like that, because these get tight, right? Yes. And as you pull this away, let this leg inject up into the hip socket. So this comes down, relax this a little, and it should come up a little, right? So those two become more even. Okay, good. And then keep your leg where it is. Inhale, raise your arms overhead or down to the sides if that's too much for you. And then exhale. Still, you're doing that. Right, it's there. Lower the leg down slowly. Good. Now, either keep your arms overhead or bring your arms along your sides. Okay. Sink your ribs, sink your waist, hollow your abdomen, hips roll back, strong pelvic tuck. Flex your feet from your knees and raise both legs up or one at a time. Don't use your back strength. Yeah. Good. Flex your feet. Push your roots of your thighs away from you. So Caitlin, away from you more. Take your heels more away from you. Yes, that's perpendicular. Hold it and breathe. Good. Now, some of you, you're going to see how you go here. Okay. Now you really sink your ribs and waist down. Exhale, bring your arms up and your head. Reach forward towards the wall in front of you with your head and shoulders off the ground, arms parallel. So this is Nabhi Darshanam. Those of you who would like, you can use your fingertips on the ground and swing your legs up into a gentle shoulder stand. If not, you can stay here or you can lower the head and shoulders down when you get tired and bring your arms either overhead or on the ground and rest there with your legs up. Yeah, good. Couple of breaths. Then when you're ready to come out, you're going to take your legs towards Halasana and move your hips back away from your head. And then as your feet start to get closer to the ground, you can move your hips towards your head if you want. And you can be in Halasana with your hands on your back or the hands on the ground. So when you're ready to come out, you start to let your hips fall away from your face and let your shoulders roll up off the ground. Keep your chin in towards your chest and come back to Nabhi Darshanam with your hands on the ground. Yes, shoulders up. Look here, Anissa, this way. Yes, palms down. Yes, yeah, that's it. And then inhale, you lower your head and shoulders down. Now you can either keep your arms at your sides or take your arms overhead, lengthen the waist, hollow the abdomen, really sink the back down, point the feet as you slowly lower your legs down. Keep your hips rolling back to flatten. Tuck your tail under, roll your hips back. And then you come all the way down, you inhale, raise the arms up, and exhale, lower the arms down to your sides. Good. So we're gonna do the windshield wiper twist, okay, with the wash rag. And then we'll rest in Shavasana, okay? So you're gonna bend your knees up one by one, extend your arms straight out from your shoulders and a little down. Bring the feet to the outer edges of the mat. Now we're gonna do the right leg 3 times, then the left leg 3 times, And then we'll do the windshield wiper. So the first thing is just follow my instruction as you're able. Take a breath, and as you exhale, let your right leg fall in towards the midline of your body, towards your left leg, into internal rotation. Observe that. And then inhaling, raise your right leg up, widen both your inner thighs and adjust your hips and pelvis and anything else that needs adjusting. And then as you exhale, right leg again dips into the midline. Now roll more towards the outer left hip and reach with the top of your right knee towards the bottom of your mat, the left-hand side. So your right hip comes all the way off the mat and you're opening the skin and flesh on the front of your right leg. And then inhale, raise that leg up, roll back to the right hip, roll side and side, widen the inner thighs, and we'll do that one more time. Exhale, let the right leg fall into internal rotation. And then observe as you roll to the left hip, right hip comes off the ground, reach the right knee towards the front edge of the foot, and then release your left inner thigh all the way down. Good. Left thigh all the way down. That's it. The right leg won't go all the way down. That's it. Now inhale, raise the legs up, rock a little back and forth, side to side, adjust the feet, keep them at the outer edges of the mat. We'll do the left side. So you let the left leg dip into the midline, internal rotation of the left leg. See how much you can allow it, your nervous system will allow. And then inhale, raise your left leg up and widen the inner thighs. You can rock a little back side to side. And then exhale again, left leg turns in. And then you roll more towards the outer right hip and reach with the top of the left knee and thigh towards the front of your mat at the right-hand corner. So you really open up the skin and flesh on the front of your right leg. And then inhaling, you raise the leg up and roll a little side to side. And we do that one more time. Turning the leg into internal rotation, the left leg. Reach towards the front corner of the mat, the right front corner. And then rolling to the outer right hip, release the inner right thigh. So the right leg is down, left leg won't touch. Yeah, release your right leg all the way down now. Is it Caitlin? Sorry. All the way. Yeah. That's it. And then inhale, raise your legs up. And exhale, take both your legs in a slow, controlled release to the left and let your head release to the right. And observe the right shoulder. It's probably stuck up towards your ear. Draw the shoulder down away from your ear and the shoulder blade and turn your upper arm and your whole arm into external rotation and allow that to free up your neck. Your palm will face the top of your head. So you might be able to see the right palm. Release the right arm down. That's the wash rag. Inhale, raise your legs up. Exhale, legs to the right, head to the left. Observe how that left shoulder is up towards the ear. Draw the shoulder down towards the hip. Feel how you have to use the shoulder blade to do that. Turn that whole left arm into external rotation so the elbow comes off the ground. The palm faces the head side. Maybe you can let your head release and see that left palm. Release the left arm down, raise the legs up. So see if you can coordinate the head and knees at the same time. Release the knees, head release to the right. Draw the right shoulder down and turn that arm into external rotation. And then turn your left shoulder in towards your chest, internal rotation on your left arm, palm faces the ground, or it turns so much it faces the head as well. Release your arms, raise your legs and your head. Head release to the right, legs to the left. Draw the left shoulder down, turn that arm into external rotation and roll the right shoulder into the chest, internal rotation. That's the wash rag. So the arms are engaged, the legs are released. Release the arms, lift the legs, and you can do that a couple more times on your own. So you can kind of explore that movement. Yeah, so that you're looking towards the externally rotated arm and it comes from the shoulder blade. It's active. It's called the wash rag, like twisting a wash rag. And then the other shoulder turns into internal rotation. Yes, so that's like twisting. So those are engaged. Then you release the arms and engage the legs, lift up and the head, and do that a couple times on each side. And then when you're done, come back to Shavasana and rest. Stay here, Steve. So your head goes this way, opposite of your legs. Yeah. And this arm, keep your arm straight. Yeah, you're working on it from your shoulder blade. Oh, they're very tight. Yeah. So you turn your arm like that. That's external rotation. And see if I can let you free your neck up a little more. Yeah. And this arm, it's not from your hand, it's from your shoulder. Yeah, yeah. So this, it's a little off the ground. It's like, relax your arm like that. Yes. Okay. Now release and come back. Look here for a second. Like that. Yeah. So, but you don't force. So you got to slowly open it up. One time I just pulled the client's shoulder down a little and it like tore his shoulder. I mean, and it wasn't like I tore it. He did it with his, you know? So you have to let go. And it's about letting go. Yeah. Now come to Shavasana and release. Let go. Final relax. So ragdoll. Access your inner ragdoll. Letting go of the gripping sensations wherever you feel them. First, you have to feel them before you can heal them. So, spreading like a tortoise coming out of its shell. Yeah. And the front of the throat, don't harden there either. No, so lift the chin a little. Yes, feel how you're pushing it down too much. Yeah, so find the right place. Good. Soften the skin. Armpit action. Yeah. Soften the flesh. Yeah. Release the grip of flesh on bone. Now we were engaging it. Now we release it. This is the release part. Let go of the toes and the feet, the balls of the feet, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and ankles. Create space in the ankle joints. For the inner ankles, connect to the inner knees, and the outer ankles connect to the outer knees. There's two bones in the lower leg. Create space in the flesh between and around those bones. Soften the inner knees and the outer knees, tops and the backs of the knees. So create more space in the knee joints. If the backs of the knees don't touch the ground, it's always a good idea to have some support there, and with the neck if needed. Relax the skin and flesh of the thighs, inner, outer, top, back. Let the bones be heavy and the flesh soft. And then it's the big joint, right? The pelvis, the big hinge of the body. So the pelvic floor, broad. So the pubic bone in the lower belly, the tailbone, the sacrum, the lower back, the outer hips, buttocks. Soften, pelvic bowl, fluid. Legs are earth, hips are water, the water element, the pelvic bowl. Soften the whole abdominal region and let the organs of digestion and elimination and procreation and so on spread along the back of the body. Soften the middle back. Well, once again, the lower back. You can't do enough of that. And then the middle back. And then the upper back, rib cage, and so on. Yeah. So the organs rest in the abdominal cavity under the ribs and above, mostly above the hips for the digestion. That's fire, above the belly button, rather. The rib basket, not the cage or the coat of armor. 37 joints in the rib cage. Let that all be fluid. This is the air element. Let there be space for the lungs and the heart. And then between all the vertebra, tail to head. And the shoulder joint. The next big hinge of the body. Shoulder blades, collarbones, upper back and chest, armpits, upper arms and elbows. Elbows connect from the outer elbow to the pinky, inner elbow to the thumb side of the wrist. Soften the space between the two bones in the forearm, top and bottom, side and side. Create space in the wrist joints, lots of little bones and so on. Palms of the hands, Hasta chakra, part of the heart center. Backs of the hands, all the base knuckles of the fingers and thumbs and middle and third knuckles, tips of the fingers. Tops of the shoulders, right and left. Right side of the neck, left side of the neck, front of the throat, back of the neck, base of the skull, the occipital ridge, those are eye muscles, occiput, the top two cervical vertebrae, the atlas, which holds up the skull, and the axis, which creates most of the movement for the neck. See if you can relax that grip. Let the ears descend towards the back of the head, and the lower hinge of the jaw release away from the upper hinge of the jaw, so there's a little space in the mouth. The molars, teeth, root of the tongue and throat, creating space. Ether element here at the throat chakra. Soften the skin and flesh of the face, inner corners and outer corners of the eyes. Let the eyes be soft and let them soften towards the back of the head, and let your internal gaze be in your heart center and not up in your head. Let the front of the brain descend towards the back of the brain, and the back of the brain descend towards the back of the head, and relax your brain and nervous system. Third eye center, between the eyebrows and a little up. There's no element associated with this chakra, but the mind, the sixth sense. Imagine your forehead is a very large eye, and just allow your eyelid to softly close over your third eye, and relax your mind. And the crown chakra, a little above the top of the head, infinitely petaled lotus, is our connection to universal energy and life force. Open up to the flow of that energy and rest in wide open, spacious awareness at ease and with joy. Let your awareness travel through your skin and flesh and allow your breath to deepen. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your hands and feet, wrists and ankles. Bend your elbows one by one and bring your hands onto your abdomen, upper abdomen. Widen your elbows a little so you can relax your hands and fingers and arms and just observe your abdominal breath for a moment. Bend your knees up one by one and bring your feet flat, comfortable distance from each other and your buttocks so that your lower back can release. Widen your feet maybe a little, even wider, wider. Yeah. Couple of breaths there. I'll go get that. Persistence. Bell ringing today. And then when you're ready, you can roll to one side and rest in the fetal positions before you come up. So that's my range. I'm not gonna take a couple of breaths on the side. And then use your arms and waist and let the head thing be the last thing to come up. So that means release your back muscles, engage your front, and come up to sitting. Roll towards your face to come up, not towards your back. Yeah. Okay. And then just sit for a moment. Bring your hands to prayer. Lift your heart. Roll your upper arm bones back. Take a side to the waist back, tailbone maybe a little forward, and lean in so that your shoulders are over your hips. Yeah, roll your upper arm bones back a little. Yeah, so you engage the upper back muscles, the mid back core. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, just bow your head forward from the base of your neck. Chin comes towards your chest. Then release your hands down to your thighs. Be here for a few breaths. Surrender your head to your heart. And curl up the back of your neck and bring your head up to level, ears over the shoulders. Keep your eyes closed. Raise your gaze to neutral, to level, and then take your eyes and gaze to the back of your head. Drop down to your shoulders and down to your seat. Then stay rooted in your seat and bring your awareness to your heart space and expand from there in the back, the sides, the front, up and down, and in every direction. Emanating like a brilliant diamond, shining brightly.